I love sweet God magnet. Love just a I don't you grab it.
Welcome to Lobster Magnets Review the channel for my E3 content. Now here we get into Nintendo. Now I have a bit more of a personal connection to Nintendo than any of these other companies, and the reason why is because I have some skin in the game. I have 109 shares of Nintendo stock that I bought back in 2011 because I thought that the 3DS was going to blow up and make a shit ton of money. So you see, I'm a little bit of a video game stockbroker on the side. I'd recommend it if you are weeb enough and you check the, your NASDAQ enough to possibly put away some money and put it into some video game stocks, and maybe you can make yourself some money. I know I've had one or two very, very successes, and technically Nintendo's in the green. I would have sold it already if it wasn't for the fact that what I'm waiting for is the next generation Pokemon. I feel like that's going to be a huge success. That's really going to push the Switch and Nintendo to new heights. But you could see that, like, investors were not super confident in Nintendo in this E3 going in. There was a huge sell-out in the point where, you know, the stock tumbled by a few dollars, so I definitely lost some money. I'm confident, though. Like, I don't think Nintendo's in the best position. I think they're doing a lot of the same destructive traits that we've seen them do before in terms of, like, not having enough software. You know, oh, it's cute you have a Mario Tennis. Oh, it's cute you have a Mario Party. But we want the real shit. And, you know, given how much cash you had from your Wii glory days, there's no excuse why you don't have, you know, you're not pumping out Zeldas and Marios on, like, a 2 to 3 year cycle, you know, one alternating with the next. There are tons of things that Nintendo could be doing that they're not, and that always frustrates me. Like, you know, it took them forever to get into mobile. There should be a Pokemon MMO that's available for mobile and consoles that would, like, destroy everything. You know, there's a billion things they could do to streamline Pokemon. They should have, like, a Mario Kart that's, like, a free-to-play game with new things and DLC and stuff. I think Smash Brothers should be sort of like a MOBA format where they're like constantly updating new characters, and it's just this platform that they can keep on expanding for years and years. I think they'd be making a shit ton of money if they, you know, did any of those things. But of course they're Nintendo, so, you know, for whatever progress they do, they always take 2 steps back. But they have 2 strong releases coming out in the fall. They have the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. You know, I will buy a system for a core Pokemon. I fucking love me some Pokemon games, and I always hope that they'll get closer to making that ever so ultimate Pokemon game experience. They haven't, not yet, and who knows, maybe I'll make a video discussing my love-hate relationship with the Pokemon series. But, you know, every time I'm always kind of got my fingers crossed that this is the one where we get everything we want. But that seems like it's a great thing to attract this sort of, like, you know, millennial audience, people who like Pokemon Go, hipster BuzzFeed people who want that sort of casual experience. The co-op looks neat. For me, you know, the idea that, like, it's a Pokemon game where you catch Pokemon without doing the battle seems like heresy. So obviously I'm not going to touch it, and I have issues with the fact that the trailer, like, I'm not a huge fan of the graphical engine, because assumingly the new Pokemon's going to be built on that. I want something that looks a little bit better. It doesn't look like just the upgraded version of the 3DS one. I want, like, a significantly better enhanced version for Pokemon. But fingers crossed that when we eventually get the real Pokemon game next year, it'll be something a little bit more grander. But, you know, aside from the small stuff and the lack of Metroid Prime and any significant announcements, we have a new Smash Brothers! Smash Brothers Ultimate, and Smash Brothers is always good news. It seems like, you know, Nintendo could have very easily done a port, and I was surprised that they didn't do one with, like, all the DLC, but instead we're getting, like, a super port, where it doesn't feel like it's, like, an overhaul, like, as significant of, you know, upgrade as, you know, Brawl was to Melee, and, you know, Smash 4 was to Brawl. But, you know, this is, like, the most comprehensive Smash Brothers game ever. We were gonna get you know, they just came out of the gate and said, everyone's in it. Everyone's ever been in a Smash is gonna be here. So, we're getting Snake, we're getting Ryu, we're getting Bayonetta, we're getting Wolf, we're getting Ice Climbers, we're getting Mewtwo, we're getting everyone. No complaints. Everyone's here, which is a fun and great way to, you know, introduce it. And just show us the amount of content we're getting. And the fact that it is a release date, and that it's just like this Super Smash Brothers made with, like, a lot of, like, more competitive tweaks. It feels like Nintendo's trying to, like, balance this a little bit better and make it better for esports, given the fact that, you know, there's a huge esports community that demands and loves Smash Brothers. Almost makes me want to get a Switch. Almost. But I'm glad to see that they're keeping the 8-player. I hope they have a decent online support, and GameCube controllers is always good. You know, the idea that, like, now Nintendo Switch is finally going to become, like, the portable Smash machine, where you can just bring it anywhere, and then hook a bunch of controllers with it, and then, you know, you can have a little Smash party anywhere, is cool. Like, I can already see it, like, being a staple of the convention circuit where, like, you know, oh, you're waiting in line for a convention? Oh, pull out the Smash, whip out the controllers, it's a Smash line party! Yeah, let's play some Smash! Woo! It'll actually make that, like, absurd vision that Nintendo had come to life. You know, the one from the original Wii trailers where they showed, like, people, like, playing basketball games on, like, a basketball court and, like, just taking the Wii and having, like, or no, the Switch with them to, you know, play games on the go. That's the vision Nintendo wanted, or was trying to sell, and this feels like an ultimate fulfillment of it. Even if it isn't, you know, more graphically upgraded that we've come to assume, you know, Nintendo's long since given up on that battle. I personally want more characters. Like, I always want, like, 50 more characters. I hope Nintendo has some surprises. Sakurai has, like, kind of misled people and said that, like, oh, well, because we're including everyone, don't expect too many newcomers. But, you know, we got Inklings and we got Ridley. The one I think we'll definitely see before everything's said and done is the Spring Man from ARMS. Personally, I can't believe that we wouldn't get a new Smash Brothers without ARMS characters, given how they're perfect for, like, the fighting game environment, and it's, like, the first original fighting game Nintendo's done in years, so why not have them? I'm sure you could probably come up with, like, lots of really cool Smash attacks for them. And yeah, I hope we get some more guest characters. As awesome as it is to have Bayonetta, Ryu, Snake, Pac-Man, Sonic, you know, why not Spyro? Why not Crash Bandicoot? You know, keep on extending it. You know, let's have Norman Reedus from Death Stranding with his incredible sci-fi delivery man abilities come and join the fight too. You know, let's not stop things here. Let's not let barriers of common sense or anything hold us back. Just give it all of us the smashy goodness that we crave and desire. So, in some ways, I'm disappointed in the fact that, like, you know, Nintendo's stock's gone down, that, like, Nintendo's, like, running into the sort of software rut that we've seen them go into previously, and they didn't really counteract that with, like, any bigger, major announcements. You know, with their online play, with Virtual Console, with the limited releases. But at the same time, I'm glad that, you know, they've got a big flagship in Smash, and I certainly hope the year after we get, like, Metroid 4, something new with Donkey Kong, whatever that Star Fox game that Retro is supposedly working on, and the new Pokemon game could be a killer one. Then Nintendo stock can hopefully reach, like, maybe $60, $70. I can cash out. I can, you know, I'm still in the green right now, even with the stock going down as far as it has. But, you know, I'm a greedy son of a bitch. I'm just waiting for that new Pokemon game to hit. I think it'll be a huge fever to combine, like, you know, Pokemon Go with a Switch plus a new Pokemon game. You know, I think it'll cause a huge amount of commotion. It'll make a shit ton of money. Especially if they can get a good online system running for it. So my fingers crossed that they blow it out of the water with that, and then Nintendo will make a shit ton, and then I can finally retire my Nintendo stock and put it into something more productive. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So, you know, I was satisfied, but, you know, obviously, you know, Nintendo could always do better. This was definitely kind of a little bit of a lazy E3 for them. And, you know, but I just hope that the real Pokemon comes. I hope Let's Go Eevee does really, really well. Lots of people buy that stupid Pokeball. I make some money. And then 2019, I make a shit ton of money. You know, fingers crossed for that. So I can finally sell my Nintendo stock and put it into something else. Because I bought it, you know, fairly high, and I want to sell it out for a decent profit. So, yeah, I will give Nintendo a B-. Smash is always good, but you always need more. So, B- for Nintendo. You know, it was definitely a very bare-bones show, but, you know, they knew what the star was, and they gave us what we wanted, and, of course, I can't wait to play as Ridley in Smash Brothers. So those conclude my Nintendo thoughts for E3 2018. Thank you for hanging out with me, and remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.